Welcome to HH28, where we unravel the secrets of self-discovery and matchmaking. We are Hugh and Heather,
two master holistic guides dedicated to helping you navigate the worlds of numerology, astrology, and personality in pursuit of meaningful connections.
Welcome to a deep dive into the number 8. If you're drawn to this number, maybe you're already kind of a go-getter, a natural leader. But what kind of hidden depths does this power number hold?
Well, what's interesting about the number 8 is that it's not just about outward success. It's about achieving balance between ambition and relationships, the material world and the spiritual.
Okay, so more than just making it big then. I gotta admit, though, the number 8 is seen as super lucky in some cultures. I remember reading that in China, people spend a fortune on phone numbers with 8s in them. It's almost like they think it's like a magic charm for wealth.
It's fascinating how deeply cultural beliefs can be intertwined with numerology. That desire for phone numbers with 8s in them speaks to the very real way that the number is linked to material success and authority. It's no coincidence that many successful CEOs and entrepreneurs resonate with this number.
So I'm picturing someone in a power suit running a board meeting, but also like maybe meditating afterwards to stay grounded.
Exactly. Because the 8 isn't just about the external achievements. It's fueled by the energies of the numbers 4 and 2. The 4 brings that stability, that work ethic. The 2 adds in the ability to collaborate, to build strong relationships. And those are just as vital for true 8 fulfillment.
So it's like you might be the boss, but you're not a tyrant about it. You understand that teamwork and even diplomacy are part of the bigger picture.
Precisely. And that awareness of the bigger picture is where the spiritual side of the 8 comes into play. Have you ever noticed how the number 8 looks like an infinity symbol on its side?
Now that you mention it, yeah. I never really thought about it that way before.
It's a visual reminder of the 8's connection to karma, the infinite cycle of cause and effect. This number whispers that your actions have ripples.
Especially if you're in a position of leadership, right? Like those CEOs we were talking about. Their decisions impact way more people. No pressure, though.
Exactly. Those drawn to the number 8 often find themselves in positions where their decisions have far-reaching consequences. It's about understanding that your influence extends beyond just your own personal goals.
Okay, I can see how that ties into the whole karma thing. It's not just about climbing the ladder, but how you treat the people you meet on the way up.
Precisely. And that brings us to another interesting aspect of the 8, its connection to careers and relationships. Those resonating with this number are often drawn to fields like finance, business, law, anything that requires a strategic mind and a bit of ambition.
So we're talking natural-born leaders, CEOs, maybe even a few entrepreneurs in the mix. But what happens when this drive for success spills over into their personal lives? Can an 8 even find love without their ambition getting in the way?
It's a great question. Because those influenced by the 8 can sometimes find themselves so focused on their goals that relationships take a back seat. They need partners who not only understand their drive, but can appreciate it. Someone who won't feel overshadowed by their ambition.
So not just a cheerleader on the sidelines, but someone who can kind of keep pace with them, challenge them even.
Exactly. And just as importantly, those guided by the 8 need to remember to nurture their relationships. It's a two-way street. Balance, remember.
Right. Because even the most ambitious high flyer needs someone to come home to at the end of the day. Speaking of different energies, I'm curious about this. Does the 8 play well with others? Or are there some numbers that just spell trouble?
Well, let's just say the 8 can be a bit of a wild card when it comes to compatibility. Some pairings are like a match made in heaven, others not so much. It all depends on the individual and their willingness to embrace the other's energy.
All right, hit me with the good, the bad, and the potentially explosive. Let's start with the number 1. 2 ambitious types. What could possibly go wrong?
A recipe for either great success or a fiery clash of egos. Both the 1 and the 8 are drawn to leadership. They possess a natural drive to be at the forefront. This can create a dynamic duo capable of achieving incredible things, but...
Uh-oh. I sense a but coming. There's always a catch, isn't there?
The challenge lies in finding a balance of power. Both numbers can be quite dominant, used to calling the shots, if they can learn to share the reins. To respect each other's independence while still working towards shared goals, it has the potential to be a really powerful alliance.
Okay, so mutual respect is key. What about the 8 and the 2? That seems like kind of an odd couple. The go-getter and the peacemaker.
You might be surprised. This pairing can actually be quite harmonious, especially in a romantic relationship. The 2 brings a sense of gentleness, diplomacy, and emotional depth that the 8 sometimes lacks. They provide a grounding influence, reminding the 8 of the importance of nurturing their relationships.
So the 2 softens the 8's rough edges, helps them tap into their feelings a bit more.
Exactly. The 2 can help the 8 create a more balanced life, one where ambition doesn't come at the expense of personal connections. And in a work environment, the 2's diplomatic skills can smooth over any potential conflicts that arise from the 8's more assertive nature.
It's all about finding that yin and yang, isn't it? Those complementary energies that create a sense of wholeness. What about the 8 and the 3? That sounds like a fun combination.
It certainly can be. The 3 brings a sense of playfulness, creativity, and a zest for life that can be incredibly refreshing for the more serious 8. They encourage the 8 to loosen up, to embrace spontaneity, and to tap into their own creative potential.
So the 3 reminds the 8 that life isn't all work and no play.
Precisely. But there's also a practical side to this pairing. The 8 can help the 3 channel their considerable creative energy into tangible results, providing structure and guidance to help those big dreams become a reality.
It's like the 8 is the wind beneath the 3's wings, helping them soar to new heights.
A beautiful analogy. Now moving on to a pairing that's often built on a foundation of mutual understanding. The 8 and the 4 both value stability, hard work, and practicality. They speak the same language when it comes to achieving goals.
I can see them building empires together, one well-executed plan at a time.
Absolutely. They have the potential to create a really solid partnership based on shared values and mutual respect. However, the 8 needs to be mindful of not becoming overly controlling in this dynamic. The 4 also needs space to breathe, to pursue their own interests.
So even though they have so much in common, maintaining a sense of individuality is important.
Exactly. Now let's talk about a pairing that's anything but predictable, the 8 and the 5. This is where things can get a little interesting.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What happens when you combine a routine-loving 8 with freedom-seeking 5?
You get a dynamic that's full of sparks, both literally and figuratively. The 5, with their adventurous spirit and thirst for new experiences, can challenge the 8 to step outside their comfort zone, to embrace spontaneity.
To loosen that tie and have a little fun.
Right,
Yeah.
precisely. But the 8 also brings a sense of grounding to the relationship, providing stability and a sense of direction that the 5 sometimes lacks. They can help the 5 channel their boundless energy into productive pursuits.
So it's constant push and pull, a dance between structure and freedom.
Exactly. And if they can learn to embrace each other's differences, to find a rhythm that works for both of them, it can be a truly exhilarating and rewarding partnership.
Sounds like a relationship that's never dull. What about the 8 and the 6? They seem like quite different personalities.
On the surface, yes, but this pairing often brings out the best in each other. The 6, with their nurturing and supportive nature, can create a haven of peace for the often stressed 8. They provide a sense of emotional security and unconditional love that allows the 8 to truly unwind.
It's like the 6 intuitively knows how to create a safe space for the 8 to let their guard down.
Beautifully said. And the 8, in turn, can encourage the 6 to pursue their own ambitions, providing the support and confidence they need to shine. It's a beautiful exchange of energy, each number lifting the other up.
It's amazing how 2 seemingly different numbers can create such a harmonious balance. What about the 8 and the 7? That seems like an unlikely match. The ambitious go-getter and the introspective seeker.
You'd be surprised how well this pairing can work. It's all about intellectual connection and mutual respect. The 7, with their deep thinking and insightful nature, can challenge the 8 to look at the world from a different perspective. They encourage the 8 to tap into their introspective side, to ponder the bigger questions in life.
To slow down and smell the roses, so to speak.
Exactly. And the 8, with their practical skills and get-it-done attitude, can help the 7 bring their ideas to fruition. They provide the grounding energy that the 7 sometimes lacks, helping them turn their dreams into reality.
It's like they complete each other's sentences,
Oh.
filling in the gaps in each other's perspectives.
Precisely. And now for a pairing that's anything but subtle. The 8 and the 8, 2 powerhouses, both driven to succeed. What happens when you double the ambition?
I can only imagine the sparks that fly. Is it a recipe for success or disaster?
It can be either. Depending on the individuals involved, this is a power couple in the making, capable of achieving incredible things together. They understand each other's drive, they share the same goals, and they're not afraid of hard work. The challenge lies in finding a balance of power. Both individuals are used to being in control, to calling the shots, if they can learn to share the reins. To celebrate each other's wins without letting competition overshadow their connection, it can be a truly unstoppable force.
So it's about remembering that they're on the same team, working towards a common goal.
Exactly. Communication and compromise are key for this pairing to thrive. Now let's move on to the 8 and the 9. This is a combination that has the potential to make a real difference in the world.
Okay, I'm sensing a theme here. The 8 brings the ambition, and the 9 brings the idealism. Is that about right?
You've got it. The 9, with their big heart and desire to make the world a better place, can inspire the 8 to think beyond their own personal gain. They remind the 8 of the importance of using their power and influence for good.
So the 9 helps the 8 tap into their humanitarian side.
Precisely. And the 8, with their practicality and ability to get things done, can help the 9 turn their lofty ideals into concrete actions. They provide the structure and resources needed to make those dreams a reality.
It's a powerful combination, blending compassion with action.
Exactly. And finally, we come to the master numbers. These are even more complex and nuanced than the single-digit numbers. But I'll give you a brief overview of how they interact with the 8.
Let's do it. I'm ready to unravel the mysteries of the master numbers.
Excellent. First up, we have the 11, a number known for its intuition, spiritual insight, and idealistic nature. When paired with the 8, it can be a truly transformative experience, both personally and professionally.
Okay, so we're talking about a meeting of the minds, but on a whole other level. The 8's ambition meets the 11's vision.
Precisely. The 8 is drawn to the 11's charisma and visionary thinking, while the 11 is inspired by the 8's drive and determination.
It's like they push each other to dream bigger and achieve more than they ever could alone. But what are the potential pitfalls of this pairing?
Well, the 8 needs to be mindful of not overshadowing the 11, who can be more sensitive and introspective. Open communication is paramount, ensuring that the 11 feels heard and valued.
It's about honoring that sensitive side, that deep well of intuition that the 11 brings to the table.
Exactly. Now let's move on to the 22, the master builder, the architect of grand plans and ambitious projects. When paired with the 8, the potential for success is limitless.
Two powerhouses, joining forces to build empires and change the world.
Indeed. The 22 possesses a unique ability to turn dreams into reality, and the 8 has the drive and determination to see those plans through to completion.
It's like they have all the pieces of the puzzle, and together they can create something truly extraordinary.
Absolutely. But, and this is crucial, the 8 needs to be mindful of not getting so caught up in the how that they forget to appreciate the 22's grand vision.
It's about remembering to step back and admire the masterpiece they're creating together.
Exactly. Finally, we come to the 33, the most spiritually evolved of all the numbers, a beacon of compassion, empathy, and selfless service.
The 33 is all about lifting others up, spreading love and light wherever they go.
Beautifully put. Now, when you pair this energy with the 8's ambition and drive, you get a combination that's capable of making a real difference in the world.
It's like the 8 provides the fuel, and the 33 steers them in the right direction.
Precisely. The 8 can help the 33 bring their humanitarian visions to life, providing the practical skills and resources needed to make a lasting impact. However,
There's always a however.
Yeah.
What do the 8 and 33 need to be mindful of in their dynamic?
the 8 needs to ensure that their ambition doesn't overshadow the 33's compassionate nature. It's about finding a balance between achieving success and staying true to their shared values of compassion and service.
So it's about making sure that success doesn't come at the expense of their integrity or their desire to make the world a better place.
Precisely. In a nutshell, the 8's interactions with the master numbers can be incredibly rewarding, pushing them towards spiritual growth and helping them align their ambitions with a higher purpose.
Wow, that was a whirlwind tour of numerology compatibility. From fiery clashes to harmonious partnerships, it seems like the 8 keeps things interesting, no matter who they're paired with. It sounds like understanding these compatibility nuances can really help you navigate those relationships. With a little more awareness, you know.
Absolutely. It's like having a roadmap that highlights potential detours and scenic routes. But ultimately, the journey is yours to create.
And speaking of journeys, isn't that what this whole numerology thing is about? A journey of self-discovery.
Precisely. The numbers are simply guideposts, offering insights into our strengths, our challenges, and our potential. But it's up to us to take that knowledge and apply it to our own lives.
So where do we go from here? If someone's resonating with the number 8, feeling that ambition stirring within them, what's the most important thing for them to remember?
Balance. The 8 is a powerful number, but it requires conscious effort to find equilibrium. Remember those energies of 4 and 2 that fuel it. The stability, the work ethic, the relationship building. Those are equally important for you to find fulfillment.
So it's not just about reaching the top of the mountain, but enjoying the climb and bringing people along with you.
Exactly. Embrace your ambition. But don't let it consume you. Nurture your relationships, stay connected to your values, and remember that true success encompasses more than just material wealth.
It's about finding that sweet spot where your drive and your heart are working in perfect harmony.
Beautifully put. And remember, you have the power to shape your own destiny. Use the insights offered by numerology to illuminate your path, but don't be afraid to forge your own way.
That's a great note to end on. Thanks for diving deep into the number 8 with us. Until next time, keep exploring, keep growing, and keep those ambitions balanced.